So last week we got a bunch of brand new images from the Wonder Woman 1984 movie, and one of them actually revealed Steve Trevor's return to the movie. And I'm going to be going over the real reason of why Steve Trevor is actually still alive in the Wonder Woman movies. How's it going, Webheads? My name is Ryan Walsh, and welcome to Webhead, where I help you guys keep up to date with all the latest in geek entertainment. Today we're going to be talking about the brand new Wonder Woman images. I'm briefly going to be going through all of them, and then I'm going to be really going over this Steve Trevor theory and how he actually survived the events of the first Wonder Woman movie and how he's going to be in Wonder Woman 1984. So let's geek out about this. So the first image that we actually got was just the logo saying that it was Wonder Woman 84, and obviously now that we know it's going to be in the 1980s, it's going to be 1984, which I actually am really excited about. I think that's going to be a really cool part of this entire movie. And then we actually got an official image showing off Diana, and you actually can see her basically looking into a bunch of TVs, just showing that it's really just the 80s. You can see all the different TVs really just represent all of the 80s. So I think it's really cool that we actually get to see this, and I can't wait to actually see what they do with Wonder Woman within the 1980s, because she's obviously not going to be like in the first Wonder Woman movie where she's getting used to man's world. She actually has already been in man's world for several decades, so obviously she knows exactly what's going on, and she knows the different styles, and she understands exactly how she should act and how she should dress in the society. And another picture of Wonder Woman really shows off the new suit that she has. I love how gold it is. I think the gold is really cool in it. I personally thought for this new Wonder Woman movie they were going to be doing a version of the New 52 outfit, but I personally really like this new one that they did, and I think it's a lot better than what I thought they were going to do. But now let's really get into this official photo that shows off Steve Trevor. Why the heck is Steve Trevor still alive? Obviously you can see this isn't something from the early 1900s, because he's in 80s clothes as well, along with everybody else around him. You can see that it's just very colorful, and it definitely represents the 1980s. If this is actually true, how the heck is Steve Trevor actually still alive? This doesn't make any sense, because we actually saw him in the Wonder Woman movie blow up in that airplane. Or did we actually see him do that? Maybe he actually survived. And I've seen a bunch of theories that I personally think are completely inaccurate, and I'm gonna really just expose them just because I just don't think they're actually real. So the first one is really just everyone is talking about how Steve maybe had a son. He had a son that actually is now in the 1980s. Well, one, that wouldn't really match up with the timeline too well, because if Steve Trevor had a son, that means that Steve Trevor's son would be an old man by now. If this was his grandson, that probably would make a little bit more sense, but I think they're just not going to be going for that, because actually Patty Jenkins, the director of the new Wonder Woman movie and the first one as well, she came out and she said, no, this is actually Steve Trevor from the first movie. So this is Steve Trevor. This is not a son, a grandson, this is actually Steve Trevor. And another one I've seen is that a lot of people are just saying that we never really saw Steve Trevor die. We didn't actually see the moment of Steve Trevor dying. Instead, he actually just jumped out of the plane and then blew up the entire plane. Well, that doesn't make any sense at all, because you do see him kind of pointing the gun at all of the gas that is going to be blowing up, and you can see that when he's doing this, he doesn't have any bombs. He doesn't have anything to really blow it up with without him jumping out of the plane. He can't just jump out and then have it just magically blow up. He has to do it manually. That's where they're putting him in this situation. He has to manually do it. He's going to sacrifice himself for his country, and this is going to trigger Diana to defeat Ares. That's what they were really setting up in that first movie. So really doing that just doesn't make sense at all either. But I think the only way he actually could have survived is actually being just like Diana in the Amazons. If you look at Diana, she isn't affected by the gas in the first movie at all. And she's basically a god, so it makes sense on that level. But then when you look at Steve Trevor, like, how the heck is he a god? That doesn't really make sense at all. How can he be just like Diana by not really doing anything? Well, if we go back to the first movie, and we do see at the beginning of that movie, when you see Steve Trevor, it seems as though him actually being in that water is the only thing that could have affected him to survive some kind of plane crash like this. When you see him in this pool or this tub or whatever you want to call it, just him taking a bath in this water, you can see that this water is basically glowing. And my theory is that actually this water is going to be the fountain of youth within the DC universe. I think this is going to be some form of the fountain of youth. So not only is he going to be surviving this explosion from the first Wonder Woman movie and actually surviving the fall as well, but he's not going to age age at all. So he's going to be just like Diana. He's not going to be aging at all. And I think the only thing that can actually kill him is someone like Diana, which is probably going to be Cheetah, because we know that Steve Trevor is not going to survive through the events of the Justice League movie, because when Justice League came out, Bruce Wayne definitely pointed out the fact that Steve Trevor was not alive. He was actually dead, and Diana couldn't get over him.
You're an inspiration, Diana. And yet, I never heard of you until Luther lured you out by stealing a picture of your dead boyfriend. You shut yourself down for a century, so let's not talk about me moving on.
So obviously he's still going to be dying probably within this movie. He's going to die twice, but we're actually going to be seeing him probably die by the hands of Cheetah. Someone that's actually going to be godlike strength is going to have to kill Steve Trevor. So I think that's what we're actually going to be seeing in this. I don't think he's going to have any superpowers or anything like that. He just has incredible durability and he never ages. That's what I think actually is going on here. But of course, Webheads, let me know what videos you guys want me to do next. Also, if you guys want more on the DCU and Wonder Woman 1984, definitely check out the playlist I put together for you guys. And of course, if you want more on geek entertainment, definitely consider subscribing right over here to Webhead so you guys get plenty more videos just like this one. But thank you, Webheads, very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Bye-bye.